What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Deep Rhythm, and we got a special video for y'all today. On the channel, we got a few things we want to discuss, right? So we've been really crafting ourselves out, working on our art. You know what I'm saying? Which is we've been getting ourselves better, at the craft of just, you know what I'm saying, drawing our art, because we know art is important for because you know, for psychological reasons, right? So we've been crafting ourselves out, working on our art, you know, but the important thing about art that I'm starting to realize is that art is meant to be interacted with. You know what I'm saying? Art isn't just something that is supposed to be just art. You know what I'm saying? Like, art isn't something that's just there, you know? It is. Art is something that is supposed to be something that complements or keeps you engaged in what you're doing. It's something that puts life into you know, what you do, the things you do in your day-to-day life. It's what brings the life to it, you know. Because if we just did things day to day, I mean, you know, it would be boring, right? So, but the other thing about art is that it also it's meant to be engaged with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something that's meant to be engaged with, you know? So that's the other thing about art, and that's what we're working on right now. It's just creating engagement with art. Because when we talk about psychological development can come in many different ways, as I've explained, right? It could be you focusing on your aim, or you working on your focus, or you working on you know, one of these different types of mental developments, right? Training your imagination, training your creativity, training your critical thought, your strategic thinking, all these different things, you know, individually that need to be trained, right? So we're focusing on creating new ways in order to train the mind in different ways to keep it functioning. And what we mean by that basically is, like, we're training the psychological, you know, aspect of the mind in different ways, right? So we can train it in a way that is based more so on focus and aim and hitting, you know, certain points, or we can turn it into something that is focusing more so on competitiveness, you know, being able to really, you know, mentally compete, which is very important, or we can turn it into something else, right? So it's just the different ways that you can train your mind to function in different outlets. Nothing that we haven't explained before, right? Being able to operate in angles, you know, in different outlets. So that's what art is all about. That's what this art is all about. It's being able to you know, operate in function in different different outlets, right? Psychologically, you know. So that's what we're on right now. That's what we're focused. That's what we're working on right now, in terms of our art. And yeah, easier, not as easy to explain, but very effective in showing. So that's what we got going on right now with that. And we got a few stories that we're gonna add to it to really get it, you know, fluctuating properly. We got a few different wallpapers or art, you know, say art posters that we got and that we plan on using to continue growing, right? So that's what we got going on over here. Just finding different outlets in order to put the art in, to be interacted with, in order to, like, boost brain functioning, you know, in psychological functioning, right? And yeah, that's what we're doing right now. And um, that's basically basically what we're doing here. And it's just a matter like um, yeah, it's just a we're traveling. We're doing what we need to do in order to get the interaction that we need with this art. You know what I'm saying? In order to boost that sort of mental functioning, to keep people engaged in the right activities in terms of being natural, eating the proper foods, actually being able to think critically and stay engaged in your thinking, being able to think, being able to properly function in terms of like what you eat, eating the healthier foods, and not just eating the healthier foods, renovating your diet in order for the healthier foods to fit your structure in terms of, eating strategically, eating healthier, right? So not just eating healthier, but strategically eating healthier, like eating the proper foods that you want to use to stay innovative and creative. That's the idea. So that's one thing. It's also involving you know what you do, activities you do on a day-to-day basis, your disciplines, keeping you engaged with those things, creating stories in order to keep you even more engaged, right, with life, and keeping you even more engaged with story, story of, and being able to take from that, because all things are interchangeable. All people's experiences and stories are interchangeable. So what I go through and express, you can feel it in some type of way, and it can be used to help boost you. We're all more interconnected than you think, and so stories and what we put out and our messages, especially those which come from the ancestors, are very important. Because it all helps us flow and function correctly. So on that note, that is the other important thing to know about doing these art designs as well. So we're focusing on that too, right? Taking information that we know to be fact and true, and turning them and implementing them into systems that we can continue to grow in. Because a lot of things we may not feel that are very important to do, and that we need to do, but it might be some sort of energy block, So everything is a flow, in my opinion. I think certain things get blocked because of a flow that's kind of missing, right? It might be the environment or whatever, but I think everything should be able to flow, and doing great things should be able to just flow out of your systems, right? Which leads me to my next subject of a kid is not developed by a parent. A kid is developed by a culture. So it's very important to maintain a kid in the proper culture, not just kids, just people in general. Kids are developed in cultures. So that's very important as well. So we're here to just that's the other importance of art, right? Because I can take your experience and I can take my experience, or I can take other people's experiences and put it and capitalize it in an image, that can draw and bring people together. And then of course, with different things added to it, you can really make it more and more alive the more engaging the art is, right? So on that note, I'm probably going to that's basically what we want to talk about in this video right here. Many things to really say and speak on, but that is that's what's important about this stuff right here, right? This art stuff right here, right? To engage people, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's no more creating art just to create art. It's also creating art to be engaged with, you know, and to keep people mentally functioning, you know, mentally developing someone, almost like developing a muscle, right? You spend so much time developing muscles. You know, what are we doing to really develop aspects of the brain, you know, including our imagination and creativity? Because it's one thing to develop yourself critically in analytical thought using the left side of your brain, but when you don't match that with the right hemisphere of your brain, in terms of, you know, mystery and creative thinking and, you know, imagination, your brain won't flow right. It's not going to flow, fluctuate right, because um, everything is not functioning right. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like only functioning one half of your brain. So that's the other thing I'm at right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be as creative and as imaginative as possible in order to fluctuate that creative side of my brain right. So not getting that misconstrued. I think that is the important thing that you know, what society needs and what we need. So yeah, that's still on the quest with that. But anyway, I'm gonna conclude this video right here. I might make a part 2 of this because I feel like there's some other things I can say. Other things I can say regarding this, especially you know. So yeah, I'm gonna conclude right here. But anyway, yeah, y'all. Peace, love. We out this joint.